Okay. Oh, wrong button. Grand. Hi guys, welcome to Irish Footy Vlogs. Welcome to a bit of a topical discussion video today. It's Jason Knight and the situation pretty much at Derby County. And we want to explore today if it's the right thing that Knight should stay at the club, move in January, move in the summer. Of course, Derby County were deducted 21 points this season. They're currently 15 points behind Peterborough, who were third bottom. Yeah, Derby County were deducted 12 points in September, guys. They went into administration and they were deducted a further 9 points a couple of days ago. Now, I suppose, Daz, from Derby's point of view, obviously this is terrible, let's be honest, minus 21 points. And the players' point of view, it's an absolute, and the fans' point of view, an absolute shambles. We want to focus more on what it could mean for Jason Knight. And, should he leave in January? Should he leave in the summer? Do Derby have to sell him in January? Do they have to sell him in the summer? How are you seeing this?
Yeah, look, obviously this is a video of Jason Knight, but firstly, it's just a rotten situation for Derby. Any Irish supporters that's watching this, let us know in your comments below on it if you do, because I do know there's a few. It's just rotten to be, if you're a player, an honest player like Jason Knight, well, a lot of them obviously are, to be involved in that situation. Different in administration, which, you're given that points deduction straight away. Nothing's really made about it. It's the terrible situation for the club to be in. But, when you're a young player focused on Jason Knight now, and you're making your way in the game, he's had this breakthrough with Derby. He's in the team. He's been playing a different range of positions. Wayne Rooney has raved about him. A Man United and England legend has, raved about a young Irish player, which is, it's not often you see. So obviously Jason Knight has something really, really good about him. We all know he has it from having seen him play, but obviously Rooney's working on it every single day, and he's played with some of the world's best players and played against some of the world's best players. So by no means is a small coming from Wayne Rooney. He has to have something really good about him. And I think he's got really good potential coming forward for him. Because whenever you watch him, he's always a 6, 7, 8 out of 10. He's never having like a really bad game, or he's never had a weak game. He's always, and like you said there a good few months ago, he's just intelligent, and that's why he can play further up the pitch, and that's why he can play in different positions, which is so true. But then again, looking at Derby's situation, they could be very well forced to sell him in January. If they need to, make up for financial fair play, if they need to make funds because they're in administration and they need money quick, their biggest asset right now is probably going to be Jason Knight. He's got the most potential. He's probably the highest value player there, I think. I know they have players like Tom Lawrence. They've got a really good Polish winger who's really good. They've got, Phil Jagielka, who's a great player. They've got David Marshall. They've got a lot of good players in that team, obviously. But in terms of being a young, up-and-coming player, Jason Knight is, he's played so many games for him. He's been consistent at the championship level, which is a high level in the game. It's a very, very high level to be playing at and to be starting at. So if Derby needs some quick cash, I think he could be out the door. And I just think to myself, Keith, Knight's been playing every single game with Derby. He's obviously learned a lot off Wayne Rooney. He's obviously learned a lot off really talented players like Ravel Morrison. He's a player on Derby, and he's quite talented. And I know he's had his own off-field issues, but I'm sure he's picked up things off a lot of players too that it's just got under the radar a little bit too. But if he goes in January, it's a question of who does he go to. But that could be taken out of his hands. If Fulham come in with 10 million or Bournemouth come in with 6 million, who are Derby selling to? And who is he more likely to play with, Bournemouth or Fulham? Both teams are near the top of the championship, but you're not really going to get into a team if you've got a really solid team around you, or someone like Fulham who goes out and buys a £20 million player every summer. It's a hard one for Jason Knight, I think, and that's if he goes in January, because like you said, he could have to stay till summertime as well.
There's a couple of things there as well, because Derby might see it that they might think to themselves, look, we can still stay up. They've a lot to do, 15 points, be some comeback. There is a lot of games to be played. They might think to themselves, we can stay up. He could actually help us stay up. Like if they lose him, for example, they're not as good as a team. Very simple. But we don't know really if their hands are tied here, because as you say, if he does say leave in January because of administration or the summer, it's likely they're going to get less of a fee. They're not in control of the situation than they normally would if he had a normal contract. Obviously, I don't know what his contract is. Say it's 2 or 3 years, but clubs are going to come in and go, Derby can't exactly say we want 20 million, we want 25 million. They're not in that position. So that's where their hands are tied. And as you say, whoever offers the most money will probably get the player. I think Knight is the type of player and type of character that wouldn't refuse to go to a club necessarily. I think if, say, a Fulham or a Bournemouth and Fulham offered more, I think he'd happily go to Fulham. The question is as well for his development, is he better off staying or leaving? Because I think psychologically it must be tough to take on a player to, obviously be 15 points behind not because of points as such, because of you got 21 points deducted in two different separate scenarios. You got 12 and then you got 9. Motivation wise, it must be very hard to motivate himself there. And I'm sure there's a lot of questions that someone like Knight has to ask as well there. Another thing, I'll just try it quickly. If they go down, he's going anyway in the summer. There's no question.
I think though too, key is the situation has nothing to do with him. It was completely taken out of their hands.
Yeah.
If Derby had been first in the table, they're still 21 points to still be taken off them regardless. So he could have scored 100 goals this season. He wasn't going to stop this happening. It's obviously not the players' fault by any stretch of the imagination.
And who's to say there isn't a further deduction?
There you go. That's the thing, and it could very well happen. But like you said, you touched on something there. I thought that's very good. Derby might have it in their heads saying, right, we could try and keep this group together. We could manage to stay up if we keep winning games and teams around us are losing. Because player over player, they're better than what's down around them. They are all over. They're better player by player what's around them at the bottom. Therefore, when the season goes on, they probably will win more games than everyone else around them. But obviously, it's got this 15 points hanging over them that they need to overstep. And that is a handful of games, shall we say, in the season. It's not even half over yet. It's half over by Christmas time. It's not Christmas time yet. So 4 or 5 weeks to go. And they could very well be back in a reckoning for staying up and pushing to stay up. If they keep Jason Knight, I think they've got a better chance. And if they let him go, they're not going to replace him with a St. Caliber player because they can't go out and spend that, say, 10 million on another player. It's not going to happen. I actually reckon if they get any money, it'd probably all be gone, bar wages, possibly. So if they want to try and stay up this season, I think they need to keep Jason Knight if they want to stay up. And to Jason Knight's advantage, he's putting himself in the shop window because he's thinking, right, if Derby go down, I'm going anyway, and I might as well play as best as I can play to put myself in the shop window to make sure I get myself a good club next season, a good contract next season. Everyone will be watching and I'll be cherry picked away from Derby if they go down. So it could really actually benefit him staying because he's going to play every week. He's going to get into the Ireland team if he's playing every week. I'm sure the Irish setup are always watching him every single week. He's going to get in that team, no question about it. He's going to learn so much, and I think he's going to come back a stronger character from this, wherever club he goes to. Obviously, motivational-wise, it's going to affect him, but I think a young player in that situation, it could be the makings of him. He's going to come out of this, and he's going to have gone through one hell of a ride with Derby at such a young age, so much off the field stuff happened. And I'm sure there's stuff happening, Keith, that we don't even know about. I think there's stuff that's being said that we don't even know about. And he's having to deal with that as a player and still play well on the pitch. So it could really benefit him in a way, staying for a season, developing, playing every week, being in form, getting into the Irish team, and then getting this move. And what's there to say that Derby might, I'm not sure if his contract is up in the summer. It could be, I'm not sure if it is. But if his contract is not up in the summer, I think his stock might be higher and teams might be willing to pay more for him, a proven player by then. Because he's had played, 20, 30 more games, shall we say, including the Cup and Ireland games. So it'd be 20 more, 30 more games to judge him on going forward than if he wants to go January.
Well, I think from Derby's point of view, if they're not forced to sell in January, we don't know, they could be forced to sell in January, but if not, and they can keep him until the end of the season, it's in their interest that he's obviously in the team playing well, so at least they can get a bit of more going maybe, and then they can sell to the highest bidder, basically. But I think what you're saying there, I think you're saying if you were in Jason Knight's head and you actually had a choice that you could stay till the end of the season, you absolutely would.
See, that's the thing too, and I'm sure he's a fan favourite there, and the fans will absolutely love if he stayed for a season and stuck it out and tried to stay up. He can hold his hands up and walk away and say, look, I made an honest effort. I didn't jump ship when you were all sinking. I stayed with you and I tried to keep us up. And that'll stand to him going forward. That would be some kind of, there is no loyalty in this day and age, there's not, but that would be some sort of loyalty that he stood with them through hard times, didn't leave, stayed with them as a group, and they did their best to try and stay up. And they very well could stay up. And what a story will be if they do stay up. There he goes. He'd be going a hero that he kept them up. And that could really make him as well. But I think, Keith, there's pros and cons of both if he moves. He could very well move to a team pushing top 6 and get promoted to the Premier League.
And be
or
playing.
Put himself in the shop window again next season and be playing. And all could be well. And he could be playing with better players, score more goals getting in the team. But he could also find himself out of the team and not be able to get into the team because everyone playing around him is playing so well, and who do you drop to bring him in? And if he goes in and his form goes down, he's suddenly out of his team again, and he's having to learn new players around him, a new style. Sorry, I'm there. He's having to learn new players around him, a new style, and that could go against him. Whereas if he stays, he knows the system, he knows the manager, they know the situation that they're in. He's doing really well, and he could leave a hero. But even if they do go down these days, he will be going anyway. So I think I probably would stay if I was him, unless someone came in and told me you're going to be playing every week and that's it. But then again, it's still a gamble because you might not be playing every week and you might be out of the team. Then you're not getting into the Ireland squad, and that's what his aspirations are. I know he wants to be a 100-cap Ireland player. He has that determination, that drive about him, and Ireland needs a player like him. We need someone solid and reliable and versatile. He has all that, and he's so intelligent on the pitch.
And with growth, better as well. There's definitely better. Like
he's only like 19. Like he's got a huge future ahead of him, and he's played so many games. Yeah. So it's going to be very interesting to see how it plays out. But I do think there's pros and cons to both. So maybe anyone watching below, let us know maybe what you do if you're Jason Knight. Would you stay or go for them reasons that me and Keith has listed? As I said, there's pros and cons to both, and maybe if you're watching this, you might be thinking there's no pros, there's no cons to either. Let us know what you think. It's a very interesting situation for Jason Knight and a very dire situation for Derby County, and hopefully for themselves to get themselves sorted out for next season, because it's not nice to see any club like this, and I certainly don't want to see. We've had loads of clubs in League of Ireland, Monaghan go out of business. Like the list goes on. Then in England, you had Bury FC that just went out. You had Rangers that
Bolton were very close as well. Bolton were very close.
Bolton, they were very close. Portsmouth were very close at that time. I think Southampton back in the day were close. You don't want to see that happening as football fans. It's not nice. It's horrible. It's someone's community, someone's place to go. It's someone's church every week to go. So don't want to see that happening. So hopefully for Derby's sake, to get themselves sorted out, and hopefully for Jason Knight's sake, he either gets to move and plays and does really well, or he stays and he's the hero and keeps them up.
Absolutely. Look, guys, subscribe to the channel, hit your bell notification button so you don't miss a video. And thanks for watching. Again, let us know what you think in the comments. If you're a Derby fan as well, let us know. Thank you.